ago, a freshman in high school went in to take her first philosophy exam. It was an oral exam, administered by two teachers who co-taught the class. These teachers also happened to be the headmaster and the assistant headmaster, so saying she was nervous might be an understatement. She went into the examination room with all the fear that freshmen have, but yet with all that ridiculous arrogance that teenagers have. The questions from the text were all easy enough. What did Socrates' ideal city look like? What were the different classes of people? Who were better than others? And so on. After about 10 minutes, they stopped asking questions and began to make a few notes. The student was just about to ask who she should send in next when they asked one last question. How are you going to use this knowledge to change the world? Yes, I was that nervous little freshman, was absolutely speechless. At first, my thoughts went something like this. Wait, you guys actually believe that this has any relevance to today? You actually expect me to be able to apply this information, which is not at all politically correct in our modern democracy, to my life? Then a larger thought hit me. You expect me to change the world? You're insane. Young children have great dreams about being superheroes. They want to change the world, and they have absolutely no doubt that they can. As they get older, and especially once they become teenagers, they become far too practical and cynical to believe that one person can affect over 6 billion people. We know enough to realize that it is impossible to even see every person in one lifetime, much less take the time to change their lives by some good act of our own. So I stood there in the classroom, blankly staring at my professors. They said, "Think about it," and told me to send in the next person. I did think about it. I thought, I can't change the world. It's impossible. It was a ridiculous question, and I'm not going to waste my time figuring out how to do something impossible. And so I put the whole philosophy exam out of my mind. 6 weeks later, I went in for my philosophy final exam. The last question they asked me was, how are you going to change the world? I had no real answer for them, so I tried to bluff my way out. They didn't buy it, and I was sent out to send in the next person. Now, most people would have taken some time to figure out a good answer after having it on 2 exams. I did not. The next set of exams rolled around, and they again asked me how I would change the world. I had had enough of impractical questions ruining my grade, so I said, I can't. It isn't possible for one person to change the whole world. The world is simply too big. They replied, yes, you can. You just need to change one person at a time. Had I taken the time to really think about it, I suppose I would have come up with that answer. I was in high school, I could do the math. 1 affects 2, 2 affects 4, and so on, until in a very short time, thousands are affected. And had I taken time to think about me changing one person at a time, I would have realized what that great thinker Confucius said, that to put the world right in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. We must first set our hearts right. While we may not be able to make others be just the way we want them to be, because we cannot control their hearts, we do have the power to change ourselves, our hearts, our thoughts, our actions. So, after we have begun improving ourselves, and as we continue to do so, we need to start impacting others. One man who changed his own heart, then went on to change the world, was William Wilberforce. He decided that he would give his life to fighting slavery in England, and he did. He used his position in Parliament to pass a law ending slavery. In fact, he did such a good job getting rid of this problem that his biographer, Eric Metaxas, notes that we often forget that there were ever even any black slaves in England. I know myself too well to even pretend that I am as good a person as Mother Teresa, or Corrie ten Boom, or William Wilberforce. But I am perfectly capable of affecting the people around me by my actions, by my words, even simply by my appearance. Often we are overwhelmed by the magnitude of what we think we need to do, but the Albanian nun who helped hundreds in Calcutta and has influenced thousands offers a simple solution. If you can't feed 100 people, then just feed 1. Mother Teresa obviously doesn't expect us all to do what she did. Small things really make a difference, and even if you cannot see the results of your work, they exist. If I walk into a building and hold the door open for the adult behind me, all I see is a smile and hear a thank you. But the people around and the person I helped are all reminded to be polite to someone else. They are all also hopefully thinking, wow, perhaps there is still respect in the world today. Perhaps there is still respect in the next generation. It doesn't seem like much. Most of the things one could do to help another person don't seem like much. We have the misconception that change happens because of great people doing great things, and the rest of us, ordinary people, cannot. And because we think we have to be great, we do nothing. An English priest, Sidney Smith, addressed this problem. He said, "It is the greatest of all mistakes to do nothing because you can only do little. Do what you can." If no one does anything because it does not seem great, then nothing good will be done. When nothing good happens, evil triumphs, and communities are destroyed by selfishness and hatred. The whole world is split apart by war and greed, and all of humanity will be looking only to help himself. Big heroes like Mother Teresa and William Wilberforce are nice, but you do not have to be one to make a difference. The heroes themselves know this. Helen Keller said, "The world is moved along, not only by the mighty shoves of its heroes, but also by the aggregate of tiny pushes of each honest worker. Good things happen because unnamed individuals make them happen. We don't have to do something great to change the world." So my answer, whenever I am asked by my headmaster how I will change the world, and he still frequently asks me, is one person at a time. Some days I still have a hard time believing it is possible. But I know that our calling is to do even small things, but, as Mother Teresa put it, with great love. Thank you.